Bray Wyatt, uh, 36 years old, dies of a heart attack due to COVID complications. My God, what is happening in this world? Terry had been sick for a long time. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know when. But Bray, that came out of left field for me. Now, I never met the guy, but tremendous talent. And I heard he's one of the nicest people you could ever meet. So my heart breaks for that family. He's got little ones. 36. God,
incredible. 36, yeah, complications from COVID, apparently, that led to this heart issue to come to light. He had been off TV since around the Royal Rumble and was about to be medically cleared to come back. But again, a guy that I would say online has received scrutiny by fans that don't like that style of, the supernatural and some of the vignettes and some of the things that they did, but by his peers, just absolutely revered. And every single thing that I'm reading about him, and from what I've known from people that were with him in developmental, just again, like you said, the sweetest, nicest guy, very funny, always kind of in a light, happy mood. I mean, some of these tributes that are coming in are just absolutely heartbreaking. And, we'll talk about Terry Funk in a minute, but talk about, polar opposites in terms of, somebody who had, yes, the sickness. And then this one to come out of left field was just, oh man, just crippled the wrestling community over the last couple of days.
Yeah, the tweet from Hunter, Triple H was just very vague. And then I saw, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp had quit about the heart attack. 36 years old, you're not supposed to be having heart attacks.
No.
What is going on? So many young people are just dropping like flies now, and it's all heart related, which is scary to me. I don't know, man. This is heartbreaking, and it's terrible when you have young children, and he had young children, very young children. God, I just couldn't imagine. My heart goes out to that family. It's a terrible thing. I'm not the biggest WWE fan out there, but the stuff that I have seen of him was so unique and so different, and he just played that character so well. And man, it's so sad to see this happen to such a young person.
Yeah, we talked about some of the stuff that he said. We haven't talked about like him directly a lot of times. We talked about what the Bray Wyatt character did for like the Alexa Bliss character, and how it added that really creepy dimension to her, which, I wonder if they'll have that continue at some point, or if that's now going to be written out forever. I mean, just again, it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but when somebody like that's so creative, the sad part was they were hampering it a lot, and there was a lot of starting and stopping. And people had talked about over the last year or so kind of some mental health issues he might have had that led to departures. Because remember, he had stepped away, if you recall, for a little while, and came back just really late last year. And this is just like, it's so just incredibly sad for the family and for the business too, because this guy had so many different thoughts that I don't think anybody could have put on paper except for that mind. And just now, unfortunately, that is just 36 years old is way too young. But also too, oddly enough, Brody Lee was another member of the Wyatt family and storyline, but also had some issues possibly stemming from the COVID sickness that he had that led to another thing coming to light, and then him passing away tragically as well. I mean, these two guys were as thick as thieves at one point.
Sad, very sad. And you mentioned like it's not for everybody. Not everybody embraced the character. Well, guess what? It was different. It was fresh. It was something new. not everybody needs to do the same exact thing in the business. And that's why it's so refreshing when somebody comes up with a character that is out of the ordinary. And even if it's not like something you dig, you have to admit it was super creative, and he did it well. And it wasn't the norm. And kudos to him for doing something like that, thinking outside of the box and trying to bring something different to the screen that people could enjoy. I thought the character was brilliant, and it was just something that we had never seen before, really. I mean, we've talked about WWF being super cartoony at one point, and just being like a Saturday morning cartoon because the characters were just ridiculous. Some might say this was cartoony. I don't feel like it fits into that category because it was so unique and so different from the rest of what anybody else was doing. And I just thought it was, a brilliant take on, just tapping what this guy could do, tapping his talent. And it's a shame because I feel like if he would have came back, we would have seen stuff that we probably never seen before. Like his wheels this whole time have probably been turning. Because if you're an entertainer in the business and you're going to make a comeback, that's all you think about. You think about, what can I do to top what I did last? What am I going to do now to, make people talk about me or make the internet pop? And I'm sure he had a bunch of stuff in the brain that he was going to just unleash. And it's so, so very sad for the business, yes, but more so for his family and for those young children that he left behind. So devastating news on that part. Very sad.
Absolutely. And they broke the news earlier this morning. They have scrapped creative plans for SmackDown, and I believe they'll be doing a tribute to Bray Wyatt for the entire duration. So that's that's how the magnification of a loss in WWE world is when they scrap the creative and they give you the treatment of the full tribute. And I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
And also they're selling Bray Wyatt merchandise, and 100% of the proceeds is going to JoJo, who was his girlfriend, and the children, which is a class move. So I find that very admirable as well, and good on WWE's part. So
I saw this funny story Ryback posted earlier, just saying, he had posted something very heartfelt yesterday, but he shared a funny story because everybody always said Bray Wyatt was very light and very funny and liked to keep people laughing. He said, randomly before live events, Bray would come find me on occasion to warm up, and we would do this drill back and forth underhooks while bumping chest repeatedly until he was ready to go. He would always try to get me to break character when we were working with random things in the ring. Once we locked up, he told me that I had perfect nipples and started tussling around the ring with me. I never had a bad moment with him. I always remember laughing with him from FCW until the day I left.
That's cute. Oh, that's nice.
Ryback has perfect nipples. That's the thing I learned today.
There you go.